Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be spilling all of the tea on why everybody else isn't richer than you and why you're not as poor as you think. So without further ado, let's get started. So if you are someone who feels like everybody else has more money than you and you don't understand it, some of these people are even doing the same or similar jobs to us, and we're thinking, how are they so rich? How are they on holiday all the time? How do they have these cars? How are they on private jets? How do they have all of this designer clothing and bags and shoes all of the time, every single day? How have they got a different outfit on every time you see them? What am I doing wrong? Why does everybody have more money than me? What's happening? I am here to debunk. I'm here to let you know why you are much richer than you think that you are and why you are not as poor as everybody is making you feel. So outside of our friends and family, our kind of inner circle, how do we see what other people have, what other people have got, where other people are going, what holidays people are booking, what designer goods, what car they're driving, how they're flying, what class they're in? How do we see all of that? It's social media. And most of us already know and realize that social media is the highlight reels of people's lives. People are not posting themselves cleaning the gutters on a Sunday. People are not posting the size of their laundry pile or them doing the big shop in Aldi on a Wednesday. That's not what we're seeing on social media. All we see are the highlights of everybody's lives. Unless we know someone quite well, we don't actually see anything else about their life and their reality and their circumstances other than what we're seeing on social media, especially obviously when it comes to influencers. But have you noticed that people who aren't influencers, people who don't have a lot of followers, just regular people living their lives, have started posting like influencers? Because that's just the trend. That's the current climate, isn't it, on social media? Not many people are just posting, oh, here went for a walk with the dog today. A lot of people are posting what they've got, their shopping, their looks of the day, their outfits, where they're going, their holidays, and that is all we see on social media. But how much of that is actually representative of real life? Because I've found some stuff out, and I don't know about you, but it was pretty enlightening and a little horrifying to me. So the first thing that set me down this rabbit hole of how much of this stuff that we see is actually really fake and not representative of people's real lives and circumstances is I saw an article about ASOS, and I am a big fan of ASOS. I love it. I get a lot of makeup from there. They always have 20% off sales. I have a great shipping pass there, so I can get everything next day delivery. I saw this article about how ASOS were having a massive issue and we're looking at limiting how many items or how much stuff you can return in the year. And I was panicking because I was thought, oh my God, I often, because of the ease of it, because of the ease of their returns, the ease of the free next day delivery, if I'm trying to buy a dress for an occasion, I might order 4 or 5 from there. I know they're all going to come next day delivery. I can try them all on, pick my favorite, and then send the rest back. Same thing when it comes to holiday. I might order a load of stuff for holiday and only keep, what I like once I try it on, and then send the rest back. And obviously that is all okay and allowed. But when I saw this article, I was like, what's going on? And I did some digging. And it's not just ASOS. A lot of companies are having a huge issue with influencers or people trying to grow a following on social media, ordering a huge number of clothes, not taking the tags off, wearing it for photos, going outside, taking photos of it, and then returning it. And doing that frequently, never really paying for anything, sending everything back so that they can be seen in a different outfit every single day. And they are starting to blacklist certain accounts for doing this. And this was so shocking to me that people were doing this. And that just was another one of those eye-opening moments where I was like, oh my God, not everybody has a new outfit every single day and never wears anything twice. A lot of them are doing this, and not just to take photos, but to film hauls. How many people do you see on a daily basis posting these huge ASOS hauls, huge misguided Pretty Little Thing, Oh Polly hauls with thousands and thousands of pounds worth of clothes? How much of that is just getting sent straight back after they've filmed the haul? Apparently a lot of it, apparently it's such a common, frequent issue for these brands that they are having to clamp down and actually block people from ordering who are doing this, or block people from returning who are doing this frequently, and it's flagging up on their system. That's just the start of it. By the way, throughout this video, any of the photos that I'm using are just for reference or to support the point that I'm making. I'm not talking about the specific person in this photo necessarily doing this. It's just to demonstrate what I mean. And it's also worth at this point saying that the vast majority of content creators or influencers are genuinely posting their honest, authentic days and lives. I have never and will never do anything mentioned in this video. And it's a shame because it is, as usual, the minority ruining things for everybody. People have become so jaded and so mistrusting of everything they see online. How many times have you been on a TikTok account? One of the ones that I follow is the lash serum that I use, that I purchased myself several times and have been using genuinely off my own back for literally, it must be like well over a year now, and that I love and I purchased myself, apart from one time they did gift it to me, for full transparency. But I've purchased like 4 or 5 from my own money at this point, and I just love it, and I use it, and I've had great results from it. Every time, because I follow them on TikTok, whenever they post anything about it, the entire comment section is just full of mistrust, don't believe it, think they're wearing false lashes, think that they were just born with those lashes. And it's just so representative. People are just so suspicious, and with good reason. We're like waking up to stuff, but it's now gone so far the other way. People don't believe a single thing. I did a Q&A the other day, and someone genuinely thought that my hand tattoo was fake because sometimes it appears on my left hand and sometimes it appears on my right hand. It's just the camera being flipped, okay? Sometimes I film on my front camera and sometimes I film with the back camera. That's what was happening. But that's the world we're living in. That is the level of we can't believe anything we see anymore, and most of the time, nor should we. So the next thing I found out about is fake private jets. Can you Adam and Eve it that this is a thing? People are going to a fake private jet that costs like $80 or something to have a session photographing yourself on a private jet. Apparently this is in California. You can go and pay and take photos in this, what is a little like building that they have created to look like a private jet, and people have been posting photos sipping champagne on the private jet, baby. They're sat in a hangar somewhere in a warehouse. This was to me, because I don't even know, why is that a flex? Private jet, very bad for the environment, okay? I feel like you're going to get an angry mob for posting in a private jet, but apparently people are so set in intent on letting people think that they have all this money to fly privately everywhere that they actually want to go to a warehouse, take photos in a fake hangar and post it online because that's how badly they want people to think they're flying privately. Can you believe that's a thing? But in 2024, it is a thing. And while there's only this one that I have heard about so far, I bet you they're going to be everywhere. Give it a couple of years. And they're going to get better at hiding it, because people have clocked these posts quite quickly and how mortifying to get caught doing that. So I'm sure that soon they're going to get better and better at photoshopping stuff. So keep your eyes peeled, okay? Don't believe everything you see. The camera absolutely does lie in 2024. Next up, let's talk about cars. Everybody's driving around in Ferraris and Lamborghinis and standing next to Rolls Royces. What is going on? Do you know how many of these cars and pictures of people stood next to cars are either not their car, they just stumbled upon this car and took photos on it or with it or next to it, or they're rentals? Even the absolute dregs of society, Stephen Bear, rocked up to a court appearance where he was sent to prison for revenge, turned up in a rented Rolls Royce, smoking a cigar and wearing God knows what. That's the level of deception that we are dealing with here. Only for him to be sent down and have to later have his finances revealed that he literally doesn't have a penny to his name and is living with his mum and dad. And he has no money whatsoever, but he's rocking up and trying to say, oh, look at my Rolls Royce. He rented it with his last £400 for the day. okay? And you can literally rent any car for the day and take hundreds and hundreds of photos, change outfits, take it to different locations, and that looks like that's your car. Of course, you're going to blur the license plate so that nobody can check and see who owns this car, because, you know, you want your privacy. You don't want anyone being able to find out where your car is or what specifically is your car. Or did you just rent it? I have seen so many TikToks, videos, people posting of random strangers taking photos next to their cars, in their street, outside their homes, on their doorsteps, trying to play these things off as their own. The amount of times I've seen a lot of people in Chelsea, this is a big issue in Chelsea at the moment, the poor people who actually live in Chelsea are constantly being inundated by influencers posing on their doorsteps. What are we doing? You know, coming out of your home in the morning to find an influencer sat on your bonnet taking a picture with your car. That's an actual thing that's happening. We don't know why. Next, let's talk about the constant holidays. These people are on holiday 363 days of the year. They literally pop home to do a Christmas tree photo shoot and then they're off again Boxing Day. You won't see them in this country. Or will you? Now, this is something I learned about from a very honest and open traveler creator that I follow over on TikTok. I can't remember which one it was. I follow a lot of travel inspiration TikTokers, and one of them let slip on a little secret, a little trick that a lot of influencers get up to. And that is, they'll go on a holiday, sure, a holiday, and not everybody gets to go on holidays. That is a privilege and a luxury for lots of people. And for a start, a lot of creators, influencers get gifted trips, get gifted hotel stays, get gifted whole holidays because the resort or the hotel or even the country wants them to promote the tourism there. They want them to promote the hotel, they want them to promote the city or the place that they're staying, they want them to promote the travel company. A lot of influencers get paid to go on holiday. That's number one. They might not have even paid for the holiday. It might have been gifted to them. They might even have been paid to take it. Yes, please. Just a quick interlude here to say that I am willing to be paid to go on holiday if anyone wants to pay me to do that, okay? Sadly, this has never been offered to me as of yet, but I did get offered a free nose job a few weeks ago, so that felt great. But this travel TikToker was explaining how when she goes on a trip, say she's gone on a week holiday or a 2-week holiday, she will take hundreds and hundreds of photos, hundreds of different outfits, photos everywhere, on the beach, places where it could be anywhere. It could be the same place, it could be a different place. You see where we're going with this. And then you just keep some of those photos back. You don't go on a holiday and post all of your photos the day that you come back. You post a few. A few weeks later, you post a few more. A few weeks later, you post a few more. You could very easily take a year's worth of photos scattered here and there on one trip, on one weekend. You could do a £200 weekend in Barcelona and take enough photos to post over a year and make it seem like you're constantly on holiday, you're constantly taking trips. And that is what a lot of influencers and regular people trying to keep up with the Joneses are doing. Okay. And it also seems like they're constantly going to events, constantly going to parties, and their lives are so much more exciting than ours. I haven't been to a party since 1999. And believe me, I partied like it was. I have been to parties since then, okay? I'm slightly less sad than I'm making myself sound. I've been to at least 3 since then. But do you know how many people do a get ready with me outfit of the day and they aren't actually going anywhere? I'm doing it right now. I spent an hour doing my makeup this morning just to sit here and make this video. And then all I'm doing the rest of the day is I'm going on the school run, and then I've got to take my children to gymnastics, okay? You know, influencers need to do get ready with me's. They need to do outfits of the day. And it looks like they might be going to a ball, but they might not have paid for that dress. They might be sending it back, and they might just be taking it back off and getting back in bed right after they filmed that video. Not as exciting or glamorous as it might appear. The next thing we're going to talk about is fake designer goods. This is one of the most common things that you can clock if you're really paying attention, if you're looking and you know what you're looking for. Fake versions of literally everything are very widely available, easily available, and they have got better and better and better, and they are very hard to tell apart. Of course, if you took a fake Hermes bag into an Hermes store, they would be able to tell you whether it was real or not. But in a video on TikTok where you're not that close up, could you? Most people couldn't. I'd say no one really could if you haven't got your hands on the product, if you can't feel the leather, if you can't look at it closely and look really, really close up at the logos and all those minor little details. Would you know if what you're being shown as a Chanel handbag, a YSL handbag, didn't actually come from AliExpress or DHgate? I have seen so many influencers doing side by sides of the fake with the real and showing how small these differences are. A lot of the designer goods that you're seeing online are not designer goods. They are fakes. You cannot tell in a video where they're purposely, intentionally keeping the little mistakes or the little differences out of shot or not too close, so you can't really see. A lot of it isn't real. Those people that you think have 20, 30 Chanel handbags and you've no idea how they're doing it, do you know they're Chanel handbags? Same thing goes for shoes, clothes, everything. Everything online is faked and replicated these days. Unless you know it's real, don't believe it's real. And I've even heard of people doing this for like safety and security. I don't know if it's true, but I did hear that Molly May quite often carries fake designer bags because she's nervous. She was robbed. She had a burglary to her home and she's now scared to take the real thing out with her. And so she has a lot of fakes that she'll sometimes take depending on where she's going and what she's doing that day. Sounds pretty smart actually to me in those specific circumstances, but not in the circumstances where we're showing things off and flexing wealth online that is not really there and making everybody else feel like their life sucks. Do you know what else I see that is so strange to me? People selling designer shopping bags online. And what I mean by that is, you know, when you go into a store and you get the gorgeous, if you go into a luxury store, even for makeup, but fashion obviously as well, and you get the giant Chanel carrier bag with all the tissue paper and everything inside. How many times have you seen people posting shopping trips with 10 Louis Vuitton Chanel bags and you're thinking, my God, that's like 20, 30 grand easily of shopping in those bags, and they're doing that every week or every few weeks. Where are these millions and millions of pounds coming from? What's in those bags? Is there anything in those bags? Did you know that you can buy empty bags on eBay? Genuine like Chanel shopping bags, Fendi shopping bags, Gucci shopping bags, Hermes shopping bags, empty shoe boxes, empty bag boxes on eBay for like £10. And you can hold it and walk around and take photos and look like you went shopping there even though they're empty. Did you know that that's a thing as well? Why is it? The next thing that I see so many people, especially young people, influencers, spending an insane amount of money, or are they, on, is their appearance. Surgery, surgical treatments, cosmetic treatments, hair extensions, crazy expensive hair colour, Botox, fillers, boob jobs. It seems like that's kind of the uniform for people in their 20s and younger. And I am constantly thinking, how are these teenagers getting fillers, Botox, boob jobs, all different treatments, microblading, hair extension, hair colours, nails done every few weeks? It's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of pounds constantly on all of this stuff to maintain their appearance. And I'm like, when I was 18, I could barely scrape together enough pennies for a Heat magazine. Like, it was a rich week in my house if I was going for a Cosmopolitan. And I don't mean the cocktail, I'm talking about the magazine. It was like £2.90 back in the day. Okay, so I'd stick to a Heat because that was under £1. That's the kind of money I had at 18. I don't know about you, I was a broke student. But again, if those people are influencers, do you know how many offers I get and how frequently I get offered free plastic surgery, cosmetic treatments, all of the above. And I am small. I don't have that many followers. You may have noticed. I don't have that many. I certainly don't have hundreds of thousands or millions like so many of these younger influencers have. They are getting a lot of this stuff for free. And if they aren't, all of those treatments are available on finance. All of them are available on 0% finance, which is like scary to me. I know it helps people out, but it's a scary ease of access to these treatments when you don't even have to save up for a long time and really consider it and really work and work towards the goal of getting a surgical permanent treatment, something really serious that could go wrong, that has potential to have negative side effects, particularly when you're talking about surgeries. To just be able to like whack it on finance, that alarms me a little bit, but just be aware all of those things are available on 0% finance. You can split the payments. People might not have quite as much money to be throwing at their face as it might appear. And a lot of them are probably getting it for free, which is even more terrifying to me, especially when it's almost always in other countries, which terrifies the life out of me. And finally, remember, creators or influencers get return on their investments. Clothes, designer goods, makeup, all of those things have a return on the initial investment. If you are making content, if you are linking to products, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a following, anything that you buy and that you show in your photos and your videos is an investment that you're making a profit on. Sometimes a launch will come out, and being very, very transparent here, let's talk about the Dior bronzers, for example. If I was not a creator, if I was not making content about that latest Dior launch, I would have bought one shade if I needed it. If I was, kind of low on a bronzer, I'm still looking for a great bronzer, I might have bought one shade. I bought 3 because I wanted to make a more helpful video for my channel where people could see a few shades in action, okay? So yes, that cost me quite a bit of money. And you may be thinking, oh my gosh, how do you afford to buy like 3 or 4 or a whole shade range of products? And I did pay for those myself. Sometimes obviously I get PR and then it's easier, but I did pay for those myself. Reason being, I will easily make 5, 6, 7 times the cost of those products just by making a video on them, by linking those products in the description box. That is why I can afford to make that initial investment, because I know I'm going to make a much larger return on that investment. That's why creators and influencers will often buy, 10 of the lipsticks, and you're thinking, oh my God, should I be buying 10? Is that normal to buy 10? It's not normal. We're going to make a return on that investment. It's a business. That's what it is these days at the end of the day. If there's a new launch and you want to be helpful with colors, that's something that would make sense for us. In no way should you feel like it would make sense for you. If you're not going to make a return on your investment, just remember that we most likely will, and that's how we make decisions about purchasing things. That absolutely does not mean that you should, or that you should feel pressure to do the same, or that in some way that's kind of, showing off. And, I am still a small creator. Imagine someone with like 3 or 4 times my following on here. Let's say someone has 500,000 followers on YouTube. If they were to purchase, let's say, a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette that's maybe £100, if 10 people buy that product through their link, they're going to make that back. And with someone with that many followers, they're probably going to sell more than 10 times that amount. And you see how quickly that purchase was easily accounted for someone with a big following, with someone with a lot of followers. It's very easy to make a profit from your purchases quite quickly. So remember that there's a return on an investment when you're an influencer and you're buying a lot of stuff. A lot of it you can make a profit on. And so there you have it. That is all of the tea that I have to spill with you today on why you really aren't the poorest person on the internet, why you really are much richer than you think and less poor than people are making you think that you are. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me more than you know. I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.